Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Galactic Civilizations 4 Supernova and our playthrough as the Iconian Refuge, where we have opened Pandora's box. It is Against the Tide and the Everwar, and there's a subtle difference between the two. Against the Tide lies spread by our enemies, jealousy of our growing power. I believe Against the Tide is you against all of the AI, and the Everwar is basically everybody against everybody. As you see here, it is literally everybody's now at war with everybody else across the board, including us. Does that mean they're only going to come after me? Maybe. Maybe not. But in any case, everything is up for grabs. Any fleets that we see around are a target. All of our ships are on the highest of alerts. But we're very, very well defended. We have a couple fleets kicking about. In fact, I see an opportunity over here. We've got a lot of borders. Let's start things off. Let's fire some shots against the Drengen who we're at war with. So perhaps this perhaps it doesn't matter too much. Now we do have the Matadrox missiles coming for more missile damage in the not too distant future. We have chilling over here the Lament of Yor. Hopefully he will get to see some action. You know, he has some moves left. Let's take him out and just stop whatever the Zolots are doing over here. It's all up for grabs, baby. Nothing's off the table. Plus we get a level. And we're just going to extended reinforced hulls, my guy. Excellent. Defensive fleet over here. So let's send it forward. We are mustering more units to sort of hold anything coming from this direction. And we are playing for a prestige win at this point. So we're on the lookout for a snuggler colony, I believe is what we need to complete the Grand Menagerie. Plus there's still the Dread Fleet somewhere out there, assuming nobody has murdered them already. But okay, let's see how the AI responds to complete and total chaos. Now, the Terrans do like to employ battleships. The Terran resistance. We don't see any here. There is a light casualty, which is very impressive by itself. They managed to chip through the 100 plus shields that the Novas have in this fleet. Our military starbase is going down. This is not an important one. We will lose some infrastructure, some planets in certain places. No casualty fight over here. And as long as they aren't our main planets, Iconia, New Iconia, most of our planets in this system, I don't much care. But there we have. There's a lot. They have been destroyed. That was very abrupt. We have missile attacks +1 plus an extra 10% on our missiles. There's Galactic Resupplied Doctrine, which for 19 turns will take a while, but maybe we can speed that up with research back on places like New Iconia, which you see we're doing. And possibly on Ombraloon, which also does not have a tech capital. I think maybe it's Iconia has a tech capital and will also be helping with that research. Now we have a siege here, and if it is possible to lift sieges, we will. And this seems like it's doable. Plus we have that movement range bonus. So easy. Let's go ahead and grab some levels. Extended reinforced hulls. Light casualties against the triple battleship threat over here. I'm not sure what this ship is. It might be a lone battleship. Yeah, it is. I can't quite engage him because he's chilling on an artifact. And I don't really want to take a light casualty at all. No casualties out of this fleet. No real threat here either. We'll keep defending this military starbase. It is extremely well developed. Under siege at Musica. Again, this planet was basically forfeit anyway. Don't really care. And what's going to follow is probably a montage of a lot of unit movement. A lot of unit movement. And a lot of just slaying of fleets everywhere. So, enjoy the montage while I move around. And I'll probably chime in once there's something to chime in for. Perhaps if we find the Orb of Draginol or any other interesting events that pop up. But right here, right now, we're just going to do the business, as it were. IV4 at this point We terraformed this tile. It's a decent research. We have 40 pollution, so I'm going to put down a planetary recycling. Keep that pollution down. Let's see. We want to strike at ships where possible. We see a lot of ships here. And we have a fleet ready to go. Reinforce, which gives us even more shields. Plus we can stack a couple more in there. I can accept a light casualty. But do we need to? Let's see what happens if we do a beam volley. Swap out one of those transports for a pair of frigates. No casualties. And as you see, we have our one Iconian, and he will start making some friends fairly soon. I'm not going to park this ship, this fleet, in the military starbase. They'll just be on standby. A lot of Terran ships coming our way. Love it. And basically all of our shipyards are just permanently producing for us Novas. Novas out of every shipyard. Maybe I'll take a moment to upgrade our Nova design, or at least have a look at it. We haven't done that in a while. So show me the ship design. Novas. Maybe we have a better weapon. And this is why it's usually a good idea to just check back in on your designs. It seems we have even more space on our ships. We've created some space somehow. We're using kinetics. They have an attack of 10, the coil accelerator arrays. Do we have anything better? We could go to missiles. Those have way more attack. The photonic warheads, missile attack of 23. I think it's really hard to say no to 23 when we're currently rocking a bunch of 10s. They do attack slower, so that is a thing, and they weigh a little bit more, but we should be able to get at least 4. And that'll take our missile attack up to 96. I think we were at something like 60 something with the coil accelerator arrays. The 4 that we had. 56. We get up to 65. But I am okay with photonic warheads. Plus, we have a little bit of space for something else. We could still put on a neutronium piercer manifest. It's not a bad idea. Glow-on disintegrators. We could add some armor, but it shouldn't be a big deal because we're relying on the fleet shields. So some other piece of tech could be really good. Once the shields go down, we're basically rip, and no amount of armor or anything is probably going to help that. So we're going to go with even more weapons. It's going to be the neutronium piercer manifest. There you have it. Nova 2. Done. And we'll want to put those into production just about everywhere. We'll have a quick tour of all of our shipyards, our main shipyards, and get that done. Now I've spotted a Drengen fleet over here. Let's take them out. Excellent. And we have a defensive fleet on station. Lovely. Unfortunately, our planet harvesting fleet is going to go down, but maybe they'll go down with a fight. Alright, they're sieging Yuggothna. Stop it. Now that I'm kind of tempted to kill these 3 battleships. Let's light them up a little bit. We absolutely did just spank one of those battleships. Now it's a no casualty. No casualty, no problem. 3 battleship fight over here. Tidy this up. Have an Onyx Hive fleet over this way. Want to keep an eye on our moves though. But I mean, it's kind of hard to say no to all these lovely juicy targets. Let's thin out all of these numbers. Beautiful. Extended reinforced hulls. And make it back home, or at least close enough. We're sieged over at the ruined Ringworld. That'll take 4 months. We should be able to liberate that. We do have another fleet over here. I am not worried at all. More ships pouring through, landing in the net. Now, sadly, the Lament is over here not really doing anything. And I would like the Lament to see action. Any snugglers? No snugglers. Very sad. So I'm tempted, very tempted, to send the Lament and a big group of ships to go and capture like Savo or something. Let's grab the transport, a complement of shielders. I'm hoping this is enough to hold the border here, backed up by all of the military starbases. And we'll just see what sort of, how strong we can make this fleet. Pretty strong. Won't have the incredible shielding of some of the other fleets. Only 128. Oh man, I do that a lot. But we're going to send them through anyway. Now, New Iconia. Yeah, back to Nova 2 production. Just do that indefinitely. We are suffering losses outside of our expectations. Request a ceasefire. We can actually peace out with the Terrans. And that's interesting. I didn't know they'd be able to just say no to the Everwar. We're gonna let them tap out. The Terrans have tapped out. That means all of this is now theirs. Or still theirs. We don't really have to worry about it. But everybody else is up for grabs, and that means this fleet is free to go and harass some other dudes. So let's go and take Altaria. Sweep over this way, grab up all of this stuff. Now, having abandoned this post, it does sort of mean that we don't really have a garrison or anything over here. I'm not thrilled about. Let's pull all the boys from the ruined ring world. We'll send them up this way. Ivy should have a decent complement as well. We'll pull a bunch of boys out of there, send them up that way, and that'll be it. And in between turns, all we're looking to do is seeing if there's targets. So all we're doing, looking for potential ships to strike at. The Terrans are no longer a problem, but because they're not at war with us, but they'll still be at war with everybody else. So go get him, guys. Go get him. All right, this fleet. This fleet is probably dead. Dead ass. Let's try to save something. No, they're not going to make it. Do you imagine being this crew? They're like, wait. What do you mean we're at war with everybody? All right, Nekon is under siege. I don't really have to care about these. And I genuinely don't. What I do care about is this fleet of 30-something ships over here. That has to go. 34 ships against our... This isn't even like a shielded fleet. These are just regular Reclaimers 1.2s. 24 shield strength, 46 armor, going up against this squad, and we still win. I find that very, very surprising. I'm going to watch this because I'm curious on how this plays out. They get through the shields fast enough. I guess they just don't have the HP. And we pick off their frigates and fighters far too quickly. Yeah, that's not going to work here, buddy. 5 HP, bunch of bombers, and we have just enough armor to see through the fight. Still, we take those. Any other fleets to strike with? Now, we could potentially go up here and try to liberate. It's 2 months. 5 months on that one. We can absolutely, with our 15 moves, get there in 2 turns. Possibly. I don't really want to pull this fleet away from Yogothna. I actually like this planet. I want to save the cruiser. But there will be no saving that cruiser. That cruiser is dead. This harvester is dead. That's too bad. I don't think we care about this. We do have a ridiculous amount of siege ships available, though. We did lose a couple of our frigates, but the counterattack is going to be furious. And finally, we get to see the Lament of Yor in action. Let's follow the Lament as it just wraps on the enemy. Where's my sound effects? Where's all my shooties and explodies? Ah, well. Done. I don't know what poor sod was defending that shipyard, but it's not there anymore. Yeah, this is kind of what I was worried about. I don't really want this happening. So let's at least make sure we keep this system. Everything else can hang. And we're basically just waiting for the prestige win here. Fending for 60, 70 turns. I forget how long it is. Taking fights where they seem, or wherever they are. What I would like to do is perhaps reinforce this fleet over here with some more of these frigates. Let's keep it going. Those Zolots have been destroyed again. We have annexed the planet from the Terran Resistance. Let's fly over here, grab this military starbase. And maybe now we can siege Savo. It'll take a long time. We'll upgrade this to a big starbase. We're lacking a bit of modules. We're also lacking credits. Excuse me. Why do we not have credits? The economy has crashed. Let's have a look here. Approval is high enough. Yeah. Raise taxes a little bit. Give me just 5 more modules so that we can upgrade this a little bit with fortifications, Ceylon, harpoons, barrier raise. That'll have to do. Let's siege Savo. Orbital bombard is going to take 5 months. Let's do it. Yagothna is under siege. We'll stop that. Now we're going to... Oh my god, we have... just have a lot of transports. I would like to make use of all of these transports. So what we could do is potentially send this fleet out to capture as well. Once we have enough ships. Your flagship has come across ancient plans for semi-sentient AI. Sure, implement it. They are attempting to siege our worlds again. Stop it. More Drengen ships. And the first run of Nova 2s coming out of Iconia. Amazing. It's going to take 1 month to capture this world. That will be the first stop. See how much movements we have when we get to the border. Yeah, we'll wait there. Iridia is being sieged. Still 2 months on that. If I wanted to, I could actually warp them away. But I really see no need. Alright, planetary assault is going to take 1 month. Might as well. That'll be Celestial Engine. We might pick up this Dyson Sphere. We might just go for Altaria. Why mess about? I certainly see absolutely no reason. Alrighty, next to tap out is the corporate sector. Request a ceasefire. We're after that prestige win and nothing else. No casualties on our military starbase with 9 HP up against a cruiser and a bunch of fighters. That's laughable. They're trying to take this ruined ring world. I genuinely don't care too much. I'm a little bit sad that the corporate sector have tapped out because I would have loved to have claimed the space here. But somebody is taking it from them. Maybe that'll be somebody I'm at war with. Okay, the Celestial Enigma is ours. And let's just go in for some mayhem over here. Where's their military starbase? It's up this way. Your sensors pick up something strange. A signature unlike anything seen in your lifetime. Your scientists look it over and, with dreadful realization, turn to you with a nod. This is the key to the Pocket Universe. The artifact that has the power to unlock unlimited power and unlimited destruction. and it's yours. Our advisors strongly caution against using the artifact until we are ready, and certainly nowhere near our core worlds. Who knows what is waiting on the other side? Now to use it. Now we use it. And the last time I had this event, I actually forgot. Ooh. There is a sizable fleet over here. We will take light casualties in this engagement. Let's warm up our guns. I can accept light casualties to secure the border. Especially since we can reinforce. Now, where do we use the key? I think we're going to open it up near Iconia. Pocket Universe Artifact. An artifact with the power to open a pocket universe where the Orb of Draginol is said to be hidden. Right there is fine. We get a bunch of Dreadlords coming through. Umbral Horrors with 126 armor. Okay, so this fleet is not a problem. More fighters. I kind of wish we had ships that could capture these railguns and nothing else. There's quite a lot of them. The Dreadlords have been defeated, though it is impossible to tell if they were mere scouts into our dimension or something more. Regardless, thousands worked together to defend our space from them. Lives were lost, but even more became heroes. Their tales and those of the might of our civilization will live on forever. Our battles will never be forgotten. That's 40 prestige because those count as Dreadlords. And that will have completed the Dread Fleet, or even more prestige. We're up to 70% of the way there, and I think, should we find the Orb of Draginol or the complete these two, that should be a win. We need to retrieve the Orb of Draginol. Pocket Universe Tier. Let's just clean up these so-called Dreadlords. There's enough of them. Hopefully we have enough moves to clean them all up. And now the cruisers. That armor rating though. Let's get them. Dreadlords, 500% bonus. Okay, and all that remains is the Pocket Universe Tier. I'm going to leave that for a turn, I think. Now that we have... The Pocket Universe has opened and outpour a bunch of Dreadlords. They're gone now. You'll need to find the Orb of Draginol, which has hidden itself on a world of one of these less advanced civilizations. Yikes. So... I guess we can get rid of the pocket tier. So I interpret that to mean that perhaps the Orb of Draginol is like on one of these lesser worlds. So we're going to start taking those out. We will start with Gloomia. There's also Almenlari Al-Sad, a pirate capital. Interesting. But let's start with you guys. Declaring war. Let's get into position first. But let's start identifying worlds that we can take over. I don't see any here. I don't see any here. None over this way. None over this way. None up that way. There's these guys over here. Pasture. Okay. And there's probably a bunch over here. I don't see any here. There's actually, I changed my mind. There's Foundation. That's what this fleet's going to be for. Would like to reinforce that fleet, actually. How much space does it have? Space for quite a few transports. All right, we'll get around to it. Let's maybe see if we can finally find the Orb of Draginol. Total loss against Celestia. Shipyard. Don't care. Wasn't mine to begin with. They're trying to retake Celestia. Nope. We'll kill that flagship. Go kill these boys. Oh, we were so close. Alright, hit him with the beams. Might lose a couple ships here due to multiple attacks. The Ruined Ring World If I can save this fighter, I would like to do that. Probably safest is to run him back towards here. Nothing coming through that gate. Couple ships coming out this way. Let's split this in half. More or less. Send you through. This could be a bit risky. We would like to reinforce Savo fleet. Risky being a relative term. No casualty fight against the Pocket Universe Terror. Let's close that thing up. I will still keep this fleet on the defense. You boys, let's go see who we're about to kill. Lantern. The Lantern were a young but promising race until early galactic traders introduced them to the euphoric vapors enjoyed by other species. These vapors proved deeply addictive to the Lantern. Now Lantern society is dominated by the search for additional sources of the drug, and all citizens are kept on it at all times. Well, atrocities in the name of the Orb of Draginol. 4 months, 1 month. See if we get lucky. Maybe the orb is on the first planet we searched. They are trying to retake the Celestial Engine. It will take 1 month. That's fine, Altarians. You do you. One month to take your capital. Nothing over there. Let's see. We can put 8 frigates, so all of you boys should be able to fit into this fleet. Oh, misplays. Misplays. Mistakes were made. These are all supply ships and 1 fighter. We should be able to just zap him down. Traders have honed the art. 150 credits. Actually kind of a lot right now. Can we get a snuggler colony, please? Negative on the snuggler colony. We know we are no match for your military power. Will you accept? Yes. Agree to the ceasefire. That'll be the Iconian Republic tapping out. Not fair, guys. You were supposed to be in this war forever and ever and ever. Not fair. We did grab this planet. Unfortunately, I don't think that the orb was there. Queue up Al Minley R. So what are we working with here? That's Altaria. That is now ours. And seeing as these guys haven't tapped out, I guess we're just going to grab that Dyson Sphere, bounce back and forth here. We have some ships knocking about. We did get this fleet completely reinforced. Let's continue the advance. Murdering our way across the galaxy. Let's go for Foundation. The orb is all that matters. I forgot we had some ships in this that maybe we could have used to liberate. A movement is growing on Iconia. It's the Natural League. We shouldn't. We can allow the Natural League, or we can take a minus 10% approval. I'm actually going to just allow it. Peace is coming. Random pirate architect. What? How did we steal that? How did we... Unclear about what happened there. That was a pirate architect. Thought we would have just blown it up, but apparently it's ours now. There's an extension matrix. Bring it aboard. Our citizens travel safely between worlds. Sure. Let's go ahead and take an upgrade to... I think nihilism. We were trying to make money. Let's get realism. Go ahead and put this pirate world to the sword. Then we can swing back over here for pasture. Oh, enemy spotted. For all enemies. Don't think there's anything here. How we doing on this side? This fleet's just kind of chill. It's not really doing anything. So are there any worlds for it to conquer here? There are. We will need to get and up here as well. I'm going to let this entire region hang. in search of the orb. Only the orb matters. First, we'll stop here to get the ship range. It will take some time, but then we go after, grab this. You boys go right to the edge of our border, and then we'll take the full 20 moves to sprint as deep as we can. It'll still take 3 turns whichever way we do it. Savo back under attack. It's tempting to go back and take Savo. The Altarians have been destroyed. Seems like they gave everything to the Archeans that we are not at war with. We are at war, I think, with the Onyx Hive. There's a bit more territory we can grab over there. All of these worlds will flip to us. And now this fleet is free to basically do whatever's. We're 80% of the way to a victory. Please, can we find the Orb of Draginol before we win by prestige? The only thing that matters. Yes, declare war. Who are we declaring war on? What are these guys? The Grey. Born from silicone chips embedded in monitoring devices. Through countless upgrades, they learn to think, to communicate, to hack. They escape their metal prisons and found each other in the dark corners of the web. They built bodies for themselves, colonized abandoned factories and mines, where they harvested more silicone for their growing population. They watched over civilizations with curiosity and contempt, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. You've just found yourself at war with a galactic superpower. Oh, 20 ships trying to slip through. 20 ships, bite it. Neko, the attractive governor of IV4, is widely believed to be favoring personal friends. What's your loyalty? 75. Take the hit, sir. Plus 25 approval. The search for the orb continues. We only need to retrieve the orb and find it somewhere on a minor world. Don't know what that means. We're at 80 out of 100, and I think this is where we'll end the episode. Very soon, I think we will win by prestige. Hopefully, we can either finish the Everwar. We're at 13 of 90 months, 13 of 88. It's very likely that we just win by prestige before either of those timers go up. But we will have to wait and see. Thank you all very much for watching. Remember to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe even, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.